into why you're here. So can you begin to tell me what brings you in today?
So I feel like I'm out of touch with Amanda. She does live with me, but I don't know, excuse me, anything about what's going on in her life. She's either always gone or she stays in her room. And when we,
Oh, bless you.
sorry, if we do talk, we just start fighting. I mean, I know nothing about what's going on.
Does that sound right to you, Amanda?
Basically.
I see. Can you describe your mother's relationship from your perspective?
Well, I mean, she's right. We don't really get along, and we haven't for probably for a long time now. I just feel like she's always ready to criticize me or comment in some aspect of my life, and I'm sick of it, and I don't need to be criticized at every chance that she gets. I feel like she's got a comment for just everything I do. It's like when I wake up, for like what time I get up, what I eat for breakfast, did I pack lunch, what I'm wearing, how late I stay up, and it just makes me so angry, like every little comment that she makes, and I would rather just ignore her than try to engage in some kind of conversation. When she's right, when we do, talk, then we end up fighting, and or she ends up telling me that I'm not living my life right, and I can't stand it.
I'm not criticizing you, I'm concerned. I feel like an epic failure as a mother as it is. I have no idea what's going on in your life. I feel I need to check on you to make sure that you're okay. I mean, you're living in my house. It'd be nice if you acknowledged my existence every now and then. It makes me sad that we don't have a good relationship. When you were a little girl, we did everything together. Then you hit high school and got kind of mixed up with not so great kids. Started sneaking out, drinking, skipping school. Grades went down the tube. And since then, the relationship hasn't been good. I see other moms, and they're really close with their daughters, and they go out to lunch, and I want that for us.
Yeah, you both have mentioned some very, very strong feelings and some good points there. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about our therapy. We're going to discuss the ABCs, the things that are going on in your relationship. The A being the activating event, the situation that you may find disturbing. The B stands for the irrational belief, and by irrational I mean that these thoughts they're not flexible, they're false, and they're largely unconstructive. And then the C aspect of it is the unhealthy, negative.
Albert Ellis, the founder of REBT, suggests that most people are A to C people, thinking that events cause our feelings and actions. They are unaware of the B, the underlying beliefs that actually guide our feelings and behaviors.
It sounds like there's a lot of emotions in the room, and it sounds like there's a lot of anger and sadness here, and we really want to get to the source of those emotions. So in order to do that, I'm going to start with Amanda here, and I'd like you to please close your eyes, and I'd like you to visualize a recent event that caused you to fight with your mother. I want you to close your eyes and think of a scale from 0 to 10 as you're thinking of that event. 0 being the angriest, 0 being not angry at all, 10 being very angry. So think about that event, and when you get to the 10, as you're feeling this emotion, thinking about the event, tell me okay.
Okay.
Now I want you to I want you to think about the event, what just happened, and verbalize it to your mom. How would it sound at a 10?
I'm angry. I'm sick of it. I'm not a child. Why can't you just leave me alone?
Sure. Okay. Keep your eyes closed, and now I want you you to reduce that anger back to where we started initially, which was to 0. And I want you to feel the anger as it leaves your body, and let me know when we get back to that 0.
Okay.
Okay, good. So you can go ahead and open your eyes now. What caused your anger to go all the way to 0 in the first place? Was it your thinking that got you there? Who caused that anger?
Well, I mean, like, I did, I guess. I got myself to all the way hyped up to 10.
And were you also able to get back to 0, or who caused you to get back to the 0?
I mean, I did. It was me.
This visualization technique can help clients realize that they are in control of their emotions. If a client responds that another person or event is responsible for getting them to that 10 or back down to a 0, this therapist should reinforce the concept that people or events don't cause us to feel a certain way. It is our thoughts and beliefs around those events.
Event evoked a response from you, but you were the one capable of controlling your thoughts and feelings that led you to that anger.
Yeah, I can see that.
So in REBT, there's what we like to call the cycle of irrational thinking. I have a little picture of it here that I'm going to show to both of you. It is a pretty vicious cycle. Let's see if I can get it to pull up here.
When a therapist explains the cycle of irrational thinking, it can help clients recognize thought patterns they might be stuck in.
So it starts with a low frustration tolerance, for example, saying that you can't stand it, when your mother makes a comment to you, or thoughts like it's terrible or unfair, that leads to self-doubt and self-pity. And these thoughts can be, I deserve better, or I'm such a failure, or I'm worthless, etc. And then follows demeaningness. So life shouldn't be this hard. You should be different, or she should be different. And then the next part of the cycle, as you can see here, is an increased negativity, which circles back around to low frustration tolerance. Now, for some folks, it helps to visualize the cycle, as I'm showing it to you here as it applies to them. Can you see how maybe you guys may be stuck in this type of cycle?
I mean, yeah, I can with that low frustration tolerance. I do. I feel like I'm instantly at a 10. I'm like instantly so angry. You know, and my mom doesn't even have to say anything. It's like a glance can make me feel this way, or if I just think that she's gonna comment, or she's thinking about, you know, like she's gonna say something, I'm just like filled with this anger, and that I don't know if I can control it. And I get that, and I just feel like every time that she makes a comment, it just goes back to that, making me feel like I'm failing, and that she doesn't believe that I could be a responsible adult, that I'm not capable, and I feel like it swings me into this like self-doubt on my own. Like, does it even matter how hard I'm trying? Because am I really just not capable of like doing anything right as an adult? And you know, and I get where she's coming from, because yeah, I was kind of a screw up in high school, but I am like trying really hard to turn it around, and I have a job, and I'm going to school, and I'm doing really well in my classes, and it still isn't enough like for her to have faith in me that I can be responsible again. And I just feel like it leads to her constantly, you know, like picking at me to change, you know, to check in or change what I'm doing in my life, and I just feel really angry about it, and I probably need to work on that, but maybe, you know, she needs to work on not making me feel that way.
So is what I'm hearing that, is it that you feel like you're working hard to be responsible, a responsible adult, and in the eyes of your mom, she still treats you like a kid, just like she did when you were back in high school?
Yeah, basically.
So do you still think that someone can make you feel like a failure after talking about this? Even if your mom comments on your life, insinuating that you're failing, do you have to accept that as being true?
No.
Now, the foundation of this therapy is realizing that it's not an event or an action that determines our emotions, rather our perception or our attitudes towards